Well, in 2000, the county was hit by swine fever, and that was really devastating, because one of the problems is if you were a contact, you couldn't move your pigs for sale, and of course you can't say to pigs, please don't have any babies. So people had pigs crowded all over the place and trying to find places for them. At the same time, they weren't making any money, so they couldn't pay for their feed bills. The RABI were wonderfully helpful for domestic bills, but their charter wouldn't allow them to give money for feed bills. And Richard Addington, who was a retired priest, who was a very sick man, he didn't have long to live after this, rang me up and said, is there going to be some sort of fund? And I said, well, I haven't heard of one, Richard. So he said, well, I think we ought to start one. So I said, all right. So I said, you write a letter to the bishop and I will talk to 4 or 5 business people and see if they think it's a goer. So that's what we did. I spoke to 4 or 5 business people from around the county, and also to Bishop Clive and the chairman of the NFU, and they all said, we got to do it. And there was only one name that I could really give it, because it was inspired by a country priest who knew the problems, who was very, very sick, but was thinking of others beyond him. So I said, it's the Addington Fund. And so it became the Addington Fund. Now it is a huge national fund with a national person who runs it, who is the director of it. Well, I suppose in this diocese, the legacy has been that some farmers who just weren't too enthusiastic about the church have actually said what the church did for us at that time has made me feel very differently. And so that's the legacy, and also tremendous support that I get from the farmers. But we never forget that it was actually a very sick man who wanted the thing set up, and we set it up in his name. So his name lives on in the diocese and in the country, which I think is wonderful.